Let me tell you something nobody talks about. There is a type of loneliness that has absolutely nothing to do with being alone. You can feel it at a party. You can feel it in a group chat, blowing up with notifications. You can feel it sitting right next to your closest friend. It's silent, it's invisible, and it is absolutely devastating. And the most strange part, the smarter you are, the more likely you are to feel it. I know that sounds backwards. You'd think intelligence would make social life easier. But stay with me, because what I'm about to share is going to explain something about yourself that you've probably never been able to put into words. Why do smart people feel so deeply, so quietly, so persistently lonely? That's exactly what this video is about, and I promise, by the end, you're going to feel genuinely less alone. First, let's destroy the biggest myth about loneliness. Most people think loneliness means sitting alone with no friends and no social life, physical isolation. But that's not what loneliness actually is. The real definition, the one psychologists use, is this. Loneliness is the painful gap between the connection you have and the connection you actually need. That one sentence changes everything, because it means you can have 50 friends and still be lonely. You can be the most social person in your class and still go to bed every night, feeling completely invisible. The problem was never about how many people are around you. It was always about depth. Researchers discovered that people who scored higher on analytical thinking reported significantly lower satisfaction with their social lives, even when they had the exact same number of friends as everyone else. Same friends, same social time, far less satisfaction. Why? Because the quality of connection they were getting didn't match what their minds were wired to need. That gap, that invisible, exhausting mismatch, is what loneliness looks like for a smart person. And that specific hunger is what we're digging into right now. So why does this actually happen? The first reason, intelligent people need depth the way a high-performance engine needs premium fuel. Small talk, surface-level conversations, meaningless exchanges. They don't just feel boring to you. They feel like starvation. You leave every shallow interaction feeling more empty than before it started, not because you're antisocial, because your brain is literally wired for more. The second reason, intelligent people can see through social performances, and that ability becomes a curse. You walk into a room and your brain quietly processes everything. Who's performing confidence they don't actually feel? Who's laughing louder than necessary? Who's saying things they don't believe just to fit in? You see all of it, automatically, effortlessly, constantly. And once you can see the performance, you start performing too. Saying things you don't mean, shrinking yourself to match the room's energy, and performing a version of yourself that isn't real, while surrounded by people, is one of the most isolating experiences that exist. The third reason, your mind has evolved beyond your current environment. Your questions, your interests, your way of seeing the world have grown somewhere that most people around you simply haven't gone yet. So you stop sharing your real thoughts. You develop a public personality that survives casual situations and a private mind that almost nobody ever gets to see. And carrying that split every single day is exhausting and deeply, quietly lonely. Now let's talk about what this actually looks like in real life. Pattern 1. You filter yourself constantly. A thought enters your head. Your brain runs it through a full quality check. Is this too much? Will this land wrong? And by the time you've finished processing, the moment is gone. People slowly see you as cold or distant, but that's not it at all. You just haven't found a conversation worth fully showing up for. Pattern 2. You choose solitude over shallow connection, then feel guilty about it. You know from experience that forced socializing will drain you, so you stay in. And for a few hours it feels right. Then the guilt creeps in, so you force yourself out. You perform. You come home exhausted, and the cycle repeats. Neither solitude nor socializing actually working the way you need it to. Pattern 3. You hold yourself to impossible standards before allowing yourself to connect. Somewhere along the way, you decided you need to be a more finished version of yourself, before you deserve real friendship. So you wait, you improve, you get closer to that version, and you still don't feel ready. Meanwhile, the loneliness quietly compounds. Recognize any of these? Because here's what I need you to understand. None of this makes you broken. These aren't flaws. They are your mind's intelligent response to an environment that consistently failed to meet your actual needs. So what actually works? Not generic advice, real shifts. First, stop chasing quantity and start protecting quality. You don't need a large social circle. You need 2, maybe 3 people who genuinely get you, who you don't have to perform for, who see the real version of you and stay anyway. Stop spending energy on surface-level socializing that drains you. Start investing that energy into finding the few connections that actually matter. And where do you find those people? Where your real interests live. Niche communities. Groups built around specific passions. The people who are as obsessed with your weird specific interests as you are. Those are your people. Second, stop waiting until you're ready to open up. The be better place you're waiting to reach before letting people in, it keeps moving. That's your brain protecting itself. But real connection doesn't wait for perfect timing. It happens in the messy, unfinished, still figuring it out moments. Start small. Say one real thing instead of the polished version. Admit one thing you're actually struggling with. Watch what happens. The right person will exhale. They'll open up too, because everyone is performing. And the first one to drop the act gives everyone else permission to do the same. Third, learn the difference between solitude and loneliness. Solitude is chosen, restorative, necessary. Loneliness is unchosen and painful. Intelligent people confuse the two constantly and handle both badly as a result. Protect your solitude and pursue your connections. Both are needs. Both deserve intention. Here's the most important thing I could say to you. Your loneliness is not a life sentence. And more than that, it is not a sign that something is wrong with you. It is a sign that something is right with you. It is evidence that you are someone built for depth. Someone who cannot be satisfied by a life that doesn't actually mean something. That is not a flaw. That is a compass. It is pointing you quietly, persistently, sometimes painfully, toward the version of your life that your mind is actually capable of building, toward connections that your depth is capable of having, toward conversations that actually change you. Camus once wrote, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer." Your loneliness is the winter. Your depth, your mind, your hunger for something real, that is the invincible summer. And it is already inside you. You just have to stop running from the cold long enough to find it. If this video resonated with you, share it with one person who you think secretly feels this way. Because somewhere in your life, someone is carrying this exact feeling and hasn't found the words for it yet. Give them the words. This channel exists to be the conversation you're not getting anywhere else. Subscribe, because we're just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.